Lesson number 10, Disaster Management. This is the content in which in this chapter we are going to study. Now let's first see what is disaster. Variously dangerous events occurs many times in the environment. Those are called as disasters. Some of the main natural disasters are floods, wet and dry famines, cyclones, earthquake, volcanoes, etc. These are all of a sudden troubles to the mankind. Such events cause sudden changes in the environment and thereby cause the damage to it. Environment is also damaged due to the use of natural resources for our development. This leads to sudden disasters unexpected to humans. These are called as man-made disasters. United Nations has defined the disasters as the sudden event that leads to the huge loss of life and property. Words like huge and sudden are important in the definition. As the disaster occurs suddenly, it cannot be predicted. Hence, precautions are not possible. Huge losses to the property occurs in the area of disaster. There are long-term effects on society due to incidences of life and property loss. Various areas of life like economic, social, cultural, political, law and administration, etc. are affected by it. The life in the area of disaster disturbs totally. There is a loss to life and property of the people in distress. Earlier we had studied various types of disasters and the measures to be taken. None of the different disasters are similar. Period of each disaster is not same. Some disasters are short term whereas some are long term. Reason behind each disaster are also different. Depending upon the nature of disaster, it can be determined that which component of the environment will be affected more. Earlier we had studied the effects of various types of disasters and the precautionary measures to be taken in case any disaster happens. We can classify the disasters in other ways too, like catastrophic disasters, example, cyclones in Odisha, catastrophic earthquakes of Gujarat and Latur, frequently buzzing cyclones in coastal Andhra Pradesh, etc., which leads to total chaos, huge loss of life and property in respective region. However, irrespective of all these, life has always returned to normal within short time. Disasters making the impact for long duration are those whose after effects are either severe or severity increases with time. For example, famine, various problems of crop, strikes of workers, rising levels of oceans, desertifications, etc. Now let's see the chart of types of disasters. So disasters are mainly of three types: geophysical, biological and man-made. In geophysical, again it's subdivided into two parts: geological and atmospheric. Now geological are earthquake, volcano, tsunami, landslides, landfall, erosion, alkalization, flooding, etc. Atmospheric, its example are hot and cold waves, snowstorms, snowfall, cyclones, hailstorm, drought, flood, meteorites, sunspots, etc. Now in biological, it is subdivided into plant and animal. For plants are forest fire, fungal diseases, spreading blister, weeds, aquatic carrot grass, common grass, etc. Animals, infectious virus, bacteria, cholera, malaria, hepatitis, plague, insect bites of poisonous animals, etc. And man-made disasters are unknown. They are poisonous gases, atomic test, unplanned action or accident. Intentional, war, fire, bomb blast, forced migration, terrorism, rapes, child labor. So these are the types of disasters. Now let's find out what are the effects of natural disasters. We have understood the serious effects of disasters. Collapsing of bridges, flooding of coastal villages, shortage of food are some of the problems of floods. Collapsing of houses, developing cracks in land are some of the effects of earthquake. Disasters like forest fire and drought also adversely affect the environment. However, what is exact nature of these disasters? Whether there are any changes in nature before the occurrence of disaster. For how long the effects occur after the occurrence of disaster? How? It needs to be think over all these aspects. This helps us to understand the nature and gravity of the disaster. Disasters definitely affect the economy of the nation. That effect is always relative to disaster and economy. That means if any part is destroyed, there are long lasting effects of economy due to huge expenses on its reconstruction. An effect of disaster on social leadership is that if local leadership is not strong enough, citizens become confused. It affects their participation in rescue and rehabilitation activities. Administrative problems arise during the disaster. If local governing bodies are affected by disasters, related departments cannot answer the problem of disaster efficiently. All the concerned departments are affected by disaster and thereby entire system collapses.